We got to get into it in the next segment, but I kind of want to warm it up a little bit with the Aubrey Pleasant stuff. Aubrey Pleasant interviewing with the Minnesota Vikings as a possible defensive coordinator candidate. He's been here as a Lions defensive backs coach. I think personally, from my standpoint, was like one of the better units given their situation. I think offensive line, you'd say, is there too, but offensive line, we expected that, coming into the season, they were going to be a strength. What's your take on this stuff, man?
I mean, it's so for us, like as Lions fans, like this is weird stuff happening. Like you see Eric Glenn getting interviewed, Aubrey Pleasant's now getting interviews for other positions. This is something that doesn't happen for the Lions organization all too often. So for me, it kind of puts like a little bit of the icing on the cake. At the end of the season, we saw a lot of good things happen with the Lions organization. Now you're seeing all these interviews kind of happen with guys within your organization, which has to lead to us drinking more Kool-Aid than we already do as Lions fans. So it's a good sign of where this organization is headed, in my opinion, that you've got the right guys here in place. Hopefully, I love Aubrey Pleasant. Obviously, I want nothing but greatness for him. But selfishly, I hope he doesn't get the job because I really do want to see what he does with Jeff Okudah next season.
Yeah, and this is Jeremy Risen. Want to reiterate a point from last night. The Lions cannot block the Vikings for interviewing Pleasant for a DC job. It's a promotion for Pleasant, as pointed out by Eric Schlitt in this article, in the tweet there. But another guy, I think he does the Lions Wire for USA Today, Jeff Risden, I believe it was. He said that he's a shoo-in for the job. I couldn't think of a better way to say that other than the 50s way, but it sounds like he's getting a job. Unfortunately, officially, that can't happen until after the Super Bowl because head coach Kevin O'Connell, or soon-to-be head coach Kevin O'Connell, is coaching in the Super Bowl. But real quick background on Aubrey Pleasant, man. Michigan native, Flint native. He has degrees in teaching, degrees in sociology, so he's been a good coach. And you look at your guy in the Super Bowl this year, Jalen Ramsey, credits Aubrey Pleasant for a lot of his success there in L.A. And you got to look at that, too, as like, do you remember Nnamdi Asomugha?
Yeah.
And a big deal that he got with, like, I think it was the Philadelphia Eagles. He was supposed to be the best corner in the league. And then he went to the Eagles, and they're supposed to be the dream team, and he was, like, trash. Like, good players, fit different systems for, Jalen Ramsey to go from Jacksonville, be elite there, but still be able to be elite in L.A. is one to, testament to him, but also Aubrey Pleasant and his coaching ability. And just the fact, too, like you see how many people that went down this year for the Detroit Lions in the secondary. We saw the rise of Jerry Jacobs, guys like A.J. Parker, just these guys stepping up nonstop in their secondary, and I truly think we're going to miss this guy, man.
Well, the worst part of this whole thing too is going to a team within the division too. Going to Minnesota, like
that part.
He knows a lot of the schemes that the offense that Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson, now that he's the OC, is gonna install here. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that they're gonna obviously they're gonna come with a different game plan when you face Minnesota, but he's kind of got a little bit of a leg up because he knows what this regime that we have here in Detroit does in practice and kind of game plans for. So that's going to be something interesting in itself, to watch out. Hopefully it doesn't really create too much of an issue of him going there, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, and like first and foremost, like Aubrey Pleasant, if you stay, I love you. And I appreciate everything you've done here. If you go to Minnesota, though, it's F you, bro. Like, I'm keeping it the same energy I did with Matthew Stafford. Been here for 12 years. You saw him leave, got a draft pick right down it. I'm here for my team. It's one pride or die for me. Unfortunately, Aubrey Pleasant, shouts out to you. Congratulations to you. I just hope you do terrible. But
Jesus, man.
I did some homework on some. Hey, man, I'm just riding for my team. Like Sawyer, how is it for you? Like, if you guys were to lose your defensive coordinator and he goes like in the same division as you, like, are you wishing him success?
I mean, no, I wouldn't wish him success, but I mean, like, when he's not playing us, I'd probably wish him success. But when we're playing him, it'd be like, well, we got to beat him.
All right, so here's a conversation that I think needs to be had is when you face a team, do you hope somebody, like the team does really bad when you play them, or do you want your team to be so good that you can beat any team at their best?
Both. I want to win the game.
Well, no, I 100% get that.
Yeah.
But I would rather go out, like, have Aubrey Pleasant succeed, but you still beat them at the same time because your team's that capable and you just got the better coaches on your side.
In an ideal world, yeah. But, like, football's football, man. Like, some funny stuff needs to happen sometimes to get those wins. Like, I mean, we saw it this year with the Ravens game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Especially the Detroit Lions. We see funny ways for wins to go against us. But I actually got a list. I did some homework last night of possible replacements for Aubrey Pleasant. And I want to get your take on it, Nick.
All right, hit me.
All right, I'm going to start you off with former Detroit Lions defensive cornerback, former teammate of Dan Campbell's, Dre Bly.
Ooh, I love Dre Bly.
Yeah.
I've actually interacted with him a little bit on social media. We did when I was doing my Motown Sports stuff before I joined Woodward Sports, we did a bench, start, and cut thing with Jeff Okudah, Dre Bly, and Darius Slay. And we only had like maybe 80 followers on our Instagram. And a few guys, like I think my boy Steady said that he'd cut Dre Bly. And Dre Bly went and commented on it.
What did he say?
He said, stop that or something like that. So I thought it was hilarious. I loved Dre Bly when he was here in Detroit. So
hell yeah.
For me, I'd bring him on in. I mean, he was like one of the shining pieces, I guess you could say, while we were going through some abysmal years here in Detroit.
Former teammate of Dan Campbell's, and he's currently the defensive backs coach for North Carolina. I didn't go deep in my research to see how their defensive backfield's doing, but to have Dre Bly here would be a flex, and that'd be cool to happen. Deshae Townsend, the former Bears defensive backs coach, he's also another former NFL player. He's with them for 12 years. The Bears notoriously have a great defense throughout history. However, they do have a new coach in Matt Eberflus with the most ridiculous last name I've heard in quite some time. But he's going to be on the market. I mean, there's a name there. Corey Robinson, assistant secondary coach in New Orleans, has ties to Anthony Glenn, who's still our defensive coordinator. Thank you to the Saints for not hiring him. And then we have a guy right now, too, in the wings, Brian Decker. He's 1 year assistant defensive back coach with us now. And also, obviously, he's worked with Aaron Glenn and those guys, too, this year. So those are the candidates looking to replace him. If me, I'm with you. Like, Dre Bly would be like that. Just think about, like, I guess I hope that he's a good coach ultimately. Like, that's what I want at the end of the day. Like, if Dre Bly isn't the ultimate, the best coach out of that situation, then it is what it is. Let's go with somebody else. But like, bro, how hype would the city be? We have, what I'm saying, like Dre Bly coaching our defensive backs.
Well, at the same time too, it kind of fits the scheme of what they built here, is doing it with former players. And now if you can bring in players that have had some affiliation with Detroit, that'd be pretty cool on top of it, because he was a well-liked guy when he was here, at least from my standpoint. I mean, at the time when he was here, I was only like 10 or 11. So growing up, I was like, man, Dre Bly, he's the best. So that was my opinion on him. So if they brought him back, like,
you still sound the same, by the way.
Just kidding. It's messed up, man. I'd be all for it. Again, it's a name that everyone knows around here. He had a good career while he was here, or a good couple years. I think he was actually only here for like 3-4 years, which I didn't even realize.
And then, Pro Bowl years though, man.
And then I think he went to, I want to say Philly after that, if I'm not mistaken. But bring Dre home. Come on, Dre. This is your pitch. Come to Detroit.
I'm going to look at the chat too. I want to see what these guys think about Dre Bly and possibly becoming our defensive backs coach, because it sounds like a dream come true.
What about our boy Glover?
Ooh, GQ. Look, I've asked GQ if you want to get into coaching, but like, you got to understand, like, well, I'm sure you know, it's nothing that you have to understand, but to anybody else out there listening, these guys dedicate a lot of time to the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, coaches are the last ones in, first ones in, the last ones out. Like, it's an addiction, and you have to prepare like that, because you look at the situation the Detroit Lions were in, like, this year for, like, the injuries and stuff like that, and our secondary specifically. Like, they had to have these guys literally off the street prepared to stop Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Like, that takes some serious preparation, man. So, like, it's something I don't know that he's willing to commit to at the moment, because he's like a real family guy. Shouts out to GQ, man. Always showing love to me and my up-and-coming in this sports media world, and really like a great, articulate football mind to speak to. Yeah,
my biggest thing is just figure out the Jeff. That's why I would hate to see Aubrey Pleasant leave. And I know we saw, like, quote unquote, the altercation that they had on the sideline, but we saw how he helped guys like Fantu Melifonwu grow throughout the season, taking guys like Jerry Jacobs and these undrafted free agents that made a bit of an impact. So I was hoping like we get to at least see a year with him and Jeff Okudah, just to see if I guess you can sit here and say save his career a bit, because Lions fans are already ready to throw Okudah out the door, but I still want to see him in a full season with Pleasant if he can stay healthy.
No, 1,000%. And I think you look at the Matthew Stafford situation, 12 years here, no wins. And the thing I brought with Nnamdi Asomugha, Jalen Ramsey, coaching matters. Aubrey Pleasant's a damn good coach. I hope we keep him, but those are just some names to look over.